Hi everyone, I'm BJ Muir from JesusHelpMeParent.com, and I coach families just like yours to use a heart-based approach to parenting. So if you want practical parenting solutions that bring about lasting heart change in your kids and family, rather than just simple behavior changes, click that subscribe button right now. And in this video, we're going to be talking about what do you do when you tell your kid to go help out their sister or their brother, and the way they help out really isn't what you were expecting. Have you ever told your kid, hey, go help your sister, go help your brother, and they sort of just kind of check in with their brother or sister, but they don't actually help them? Yeah, me too. We ask kids to help out all the time, but we're not always really clear on what we intend by the phrase help out. In reality, there are three ways to help out whenever we say go help your brother, go help your sister. And in this video, I'm going to show you what those three ways are and how to get clear on those three ways with your kids so your kids have more success in following through on what you tell them to do. Now, if you want to get a copy of a printable that'll help you, just like this one here, that'll help you clarify this with your kids and work with your kids so they understand what you mean when you say help out, go ahead and click on the link in the description down below. The first way to go help is to check in. When we tell a kid to go help, and we just need them to check in. Checking in is just simply that. Checking in to make sure things are okay. So maybe you tell one of your older siblings, go check and see if your brother needs any help with raking. And you really just want them to go kind of check, hey, is everything going okay? Go check on your sister upstairs. You know, make sure everything's all right. We really just want them to check in. In reality, when we say go help whoever it is, this check-in becomes sort of the default level that our children go with. Because we didn't give more specific instructions on what to do when you get there, our kids know, okay, I'm supposed to go help. Let me start by asking, do you need any help? That's a typical response for children. They go and say, hey, do you need any help? Or mom wants to know, do you need any help? Now, if the little sibling says no, our kid walks off. Great, got the no answer. And they feel like I did what mom and dad asked me to. In our children's hearts, many of them, not all of them, but many of them feel like they fulfilled the obligation of what our parents asked us to do. So for a lot of kids, they really think they did the right thing here. And that's why I want to be careful about disciplining our children in these cases. If they really think they have, because we haven't been specific and precise with our words, we want to be careful then. The second way to help out is to jump in. If check-in is that most basic default level, then jumping in is that second level, and it's often the one that we parents actually mean when we tell our kids, go help out. Jumping in means going to the situation, noticing what's going on, and jumping in as needed. So when I, the parent, say, hey, go help out your sister upstairs, make sure everything's okay. If you go into the bedroom and you say, hey, do you need any help picking up in here? And she says no, but there's more toys out than there were before, I want you as the older sibling to notice that and say, oh, why don't I help you out? And jump in and pick things up. Jumping in takes some more initiative than checking in. Jumping in says, I'm going to ask, hey, is everything okay? Do you need any help? But then I'm going to make an independent assessment of the situation. And I'm going to determine if you need me to jump in. And if you do, where I can jump in and help out. Jumping in also involves staying there until the job is done. So noticing that my younger brother is having trouble putting his bicycle away, and instead of just saying, do you need any help, noticing it and holding the shed door open because it keeps closing on him, and then when he gets the bike inside, making sure that the shed door gets shut the right way and the little latch gets pulled over. That's what jumping in does. It stays there and makes sure that the job gets done right. Jumping in can be seen throughout the Bible. A couple of great examples you can give your kids. Rebecca in the Old Testament. Rebecca notices the traveler who requests water, and not only notices the traveler, but then also notices the camels. And she stays there and she waters those camels until the job is done. Now, that was no small job to do at all, but Rebecca jumped in to help out. The third way to help out is to stay in. So we've got check in, jump in, and stay in. Staying in involves looking at the person and truly empathizing with the situation and being there until that person feels like they're ready. So when the younger brother is trying to learn to ride a bike, and you notice that as an older sibling, and you go and just hang out on the front porch or in the driveway to encourage that sibling who's starting to get afraid to ride the bike. The kid can do it. They don't need your help, but they need your help emotionally in an encouraging type of way. The kid who is afraid on the hike to walk and needs an older sibling to hold their hand, noticing the emotions on that younger sister and saying, you know what, I'll be there. I'll hold your hand. I'll help you through this scary part of this walk. Is it really scary? Not for the older sibling. They can see we're going to make it. But that younger sibling needs that older sibling to help them out at that moment. It involves developing empathy in your heart as a child for others around you, and then acting upon that empathy to help out in a situation and not stopping the help just when things are done, but being there and staying in until the person you're helping feels that sense that you're not needed anymore. That's what empathy really is in this situation, what staying in really is in this situation. And again, we see this in Scripture. I just want you to think about the cross. Think about Jesus on the cross. Does he really need anybody? No. He's okay, just on his own, on the cross. He can do this. Is it terribly difficult for him? Yeah. There were some women who stayed, though. There was his mother there. There was Mary Magdalene there. John was there as well. These people who were there were great comfort to Jesus. They were there supporting him in his neediest hour. They stayed in. You know, when I think about Paul, again, he writes about some people like Timothy who were there and staying in the ministry with him right through to the end. Even when he was in jail, there were people that Paul writes were of great comfort to him. You know, when we think about Ruth stayed in with Naomi. Jonathan stayed in with David. There's lots of times where we see biblical characters who stay in and support others. And that's what we really want to develop in our children. This third and highest level, when we say go help, this third and highest level of not just reading the situation about what the job needs, but reading the situation for what the person needs. And staying involved and staying there until the person is ready too. So how can we help our kids get better at helping out? Really what we're looking at here is the need for heart change and working with our child's conscience. You know, there's an area of our conscience that the Bible talks about that we would call caring about others. And we need to help our child develop that even more so they start developing a heart tendency that looks to help out and really truly care about those that they're helping. So there's 3 quick things we can do as parents that'll help our kids develop this area of their conscience. So that way, it's not them just following our rules as kids, but them embracing a lifestyle of caring about others and helping out. Those 3 ways are being more precise with our language, finding opportunities for children to help out, and making the connection between helping out and relationships. When we're more precise with our language, we really support our children in doing this well. When we just say go help out, we're telling our kids check in, default level. I want you to remember that the next time you tell your kid to help out, expect them to only check in. If you want them to do more than check in, you need to be more precise in your language, and we all need to be more precise in our language. So we want to say things like, hey, I want you to go jump in and help out your sister finishing up her bedroom. I want you to go jump in and help your brother as he cleans up the kitchen. Whatever it might be that you're really expecting your kid to make an evaluation and see what's needed and get the job done, that's what you want to say, go jump in to help with. If you see one of your kids who just needs that hug, that holding of the hand or something like that, and you're not available and you want to say, hey, I want you to go stay in with your sister over there. She's really feeling uncomfortable with, this new thing we're doing or whatever it might be. That staying in, when we say go stay in, we're getting real clear and precise on what our expectations are. Now, we need to teach our children what we mean by that precise language of check in, jump in, and stay in. We can teach them this, whether it's through a family Bible time or during an evening prayer time with our kids as they go to bed, or even just over dinner talking about this. And using the printable that you can get by clicking on that link in the description down below. That's a great visual to have up in your house for your kids and you to refer back to when you start getting more precise on your language. Finding opportunities for kids to help out really involves finding opportunities to have kids jump in and stay in our families. We want to look for those jump in and stay in opportunities all the time. When dad's coming home with groceries, we want to say to our kid, hey, why don't you and I jump in and help your dad get the groceries in and unload them? Or when mom is doing a lot of yard work and it's getting a little bit later in the afternoon, say, hey, why don't you and I jump in and go help your mom with that yard work? Finding those opportunities to jump in and jumping in with your kids, so you're modeling what jumping in looks like, really helps your child catch a vision for jumping in, for noticing these things and starting to do them on their own. We also want to find opportunities to stay in when we see a problem happening, encouraging our kids, why don't you come help me as I stay in with your sister and help her feel better as she's dealing with whatever that thing might be. When we give our kids these opportunities, when we invite them in, because they just might not be seeing those things, when we show them those things exist just within their own family, and then invite them in to help out by jumping in or staying in, we're showing them what it means to follow Jesus. We're showing them what it means to serve others. We're showing them what it means to help out. When we provide our kids with these opportunities to jump in or stay in, we're increasing their awareness of noticing these opportunities on their own, hoping that they act upon them in the future. But when we also connect those opportunities and what it means to jump in or stay in with how it impacts relationships in a positive way, we're providing motivation to go do it independently. And when our kids are jumping in or staying in because we tell them to, they're really increasing in their obedience, in their cooperation with family life, and even in their contribution to family life. But when they start noticing these needs to jump in, or this need to stay in with a sibling, with another family member, that's when they're moving to the highest form of contribution in family life, an obligation in family life, which is honor. And our children are learning how to honor others when they start doing this on their own. The way to get them there is to start helping them understand the connection between their helping out and relationships. Now, if you haven't grabbed your free copy of the printout that I showed you earlier, go ahead and go down to the description now and click on that link so you can get your copy and start being more precise with your language with your children, so they know if you want them to check in, jump in, or stay in. And if you found this video helpful, give it that thumbs up and go ahead and share this video on your social media platform so your friends know how helpful you found it, so they can find it helpful too. And if you didn't click that subscribe button, what are you waiting for? We're going to be releasing a video next week. You're going to want to get a copy of it. So click that subscribe button right now. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you next time.